Every May, Holland, Michigan explodes into a sea of color during the Tulip Time Festival, where over 6 million tulips paint the city in vibrant colors. Welcome to Tulip Time in Holland, Michigan.
Holland, Michigan is best known for its Dutch heritage, with over 28% of the population being of Dutch descent. This shapes not only the city's cultural identity, but the local economy as well. The Tulip Time Festival in May is an annual celebration that has been blooming since 1929 and attracts thousands of tourists annually. We started our Tulip Time experience in Centennial Park. This Victorian-style park in downtown Holland has a traditional Dutch fountain, winding pathways, and a gazebo encircled with brightly colored tulips.
The Tulip Time Festival takes place over 10 days in May at different locations around Holland, Michigan, all within a 4-mile radius of downtown. Tulips can be seen free of charge in public parks and along downtown areas. So along with all the restaurants downtown, there's tons of food trucks everywhere. So now we're gonna go find some food for dinner. We decided to divide and conquer. I went back to the van to feed the dogs while Kevin went to grab us some dinner because we are hoping to find a really cool spot to see the sunset.
All right, food truck was a fail, so we ended up getting tacos from a little Mexican joint. We're now headed over to Holland State Park, and we're going to try and catch the end of an epic sunset here by the lighthouse. Okay, we're here for sunset at Holland State Park, and right behind me is the Big Red Lighthouse. It's one of the most photographed lighthouses in all of Michigan, and they have a ton of lighthouses on the shores around here. Beautiful views. We actually have good color, which is nice, because anytime we try to do a sunset, it's like clear, no clouds at all.
Yes, you need clouds for the good colors. We're gonna enjoy the sunset out here for a bit and then head back to the van and eat our dinner before it gets too cold.
We're back in the van after watching that awesome sunset, and now we're finally going to enjoy our dinner. So we got burrito, tacos, and guacamole. We ended up grabbing all this from Mezcla Taqueria in downtown Holland. My God.
That burrito is huge.
This might be a knife and fork burrito. All right, so of course this ridiculous thing is what I got. It has steak in it and salsa and all the goodness. And then Jess got street tacos.
Yep, I got 3 different flavors. I got al pastor, chicken tinga, and chorizo.
Oh yeah, that's a good burrito.
It is 9:20, so we are gonna go and find a place to sleep tonight. It was a really last minute decision to come up here because we weren't sure what the weather was gonna be like. It's been storming a ton the past few days, and all the campsites were booked up at the state park. So we are gonna go and find somewhere else to stay. Maybe Walmart. Probably Walmart.
All right, we made it to our first class resort, Walmart. We just took the dogs out. We're gonna get ready for bed, and then we will see you guys in the morning.
Good morning. We are currently headed to a park to give the dogs a little walk and feed them, and the park is right near a traditional Dutch bakery. So we're excited to try that this morning.
This is nice down here. I didn't realize there's gonna be a little boardwalk, and it looks like it goes for a little bit. There's tons of like trails around too, and you can even walk out on the dock there. It's a nice little park.
We just left a Boers. It was absolutely packed in there. It is Saturday morning. Line was out the door just for the bakery. I don't even want to know what the wait was like for the restaurant area. So we grabbed our stuff to go and are just going back down the street to the park to enjoy our breakfast. We've got our bags and we'll show you what we got. We got a chorizo pig in a blanket, a ham and cheese croissant, and a chocolate croissant because we always love those. And we got these warmed up. So you do have the option to get your pastries warmed up. And we also got a blue milk donut, which was recommended by the lady who was serving us. So let's see how everything tastes. This is the chorizo pig in a blanket.
There you go.
It's real good.
There's a good amount of stuffing in there, which I like.
That was really good if you can't tell by how quickly we inhaled it. Definitely recommend the chorizo pig in a blanket.
I can't remember last time I had something like that.
I don't think I've ever had anything like that. Next, the ham and Gouda croissant.
So if you can't tell, we've decided to go savory first, and then we'll have our dessert at the end.
This is what the croissant looks like.
Good fluff to it.
Oh wow. They know how to make a croissant, that's for sure.
Since this town has a rich Dutch history to it, this bakery is actually from a Dutch family, and what it said on the website was their opa, which I believe means grandpa, was a very good Dutch baker. So his kids opened this in Holland, Michigan. They actually have two. So there's one on the north side of the Mactawa, and then there's one in the downtown area on the south side. And obviously they're doing pretty well. I think we're gonna do the chocolate croissant first, then the donut.
Agreed.
Because then we go sweet and probably sweeter.
Yeah, I feel like these are typically not super sweet.
Right.
Let's check this chocolate croissant out. That's a lot of chocolate. That's what I'm talking about. Oh yeah.
What are your thoughts?
It's good.
Pretty good chocolate croissant.
We were really hungry this morning, so we might have ate those a little fast.
I knew Jess was hungry because when we were in line, she was just like, that. I want that. That over there. That. How about a cookie for breakfast? Like, no, not a cookie for breakfast.
We did not get a cookie, but the cookies looked really good too. They also had quiche, they had bagels, and they had different flavors of cream cheese. Looked pretty cool.
Bunch of different donuts.
Alright, this is a blue milk donut, which I'm not quite sure, but she said it does have a lemony flavor. I'm gonna be perfectly transparent. There are very few donuts I actually like. Like, I like the apple cider donuts that we had in Vermont. Those are really good because they weren't super sweet. This also looks like a cake style donut like that, so we'll see.
We'll see. That's pretty good.
I'm just not a donut fan, so I don't like the icing.
I think it's a solid donut. It's a solid donut. I think the rest of their donuts are going to be solid too. I bet even their glazed stuff's good because I heard people talking about them in there.
Yeah. Don't take advice from me on this one because I'm not
It's a solid donut.
a donut flavor.
There's good flavor to it. We're going to get cleaned up here, and then we're going to go check out some windmills. I don't even know how to explain what just happened. A woman out there thinks I'm a complete psychopath at this point. So I was going to drop off the matcha, the bag, and some other trash in the trash can. And what I didn't know was there was a squirrel in there. The squirrel jumps out of the trash can, hits the bag. The matcha, because I hadn't drank it all, explodes all over me. She didn't see the squirrel at all, so she thought I just like went like this and threw it everywhere trying to put in the bag. So I am now soaked in matcha. I don't understand.
We'll get you cleaned up.
What a way to start the day.
On the way to the Windmill Gardens, we decided to walk through downtown Holland. The City of Holland manages all the tulip plantings in parks, along city streets, and in the downtown area. You'll find beautiful tulip plantings in beds and planters along the streets among the restaurants and shops. We stopped in the Dutch Village store where there were wooden clogs, tulips, and other souvenirs before heading to the Windmill Island Gardens. Welcome to the Windmill Island Gardens. The Windmill Gardens are absolutely packed. There was a huge line to get in, but luckily it goes really quickly. And now we're in here and there's these beautiful tulip gardens everywhere. There's little windmills all around, and there's even a carousel for kids to go on. The Windmill Island Gardens are a beautiful oasis on the edge of downtown Holland, featuring 36 acres of manicured gardens, over 150,000 tulips, canals, and walking paths. The centerpiece is an authentic working Dutch windmill called de Zwaan. When we left the Windmill Island Gardens, it was getting insanely busy, and as we were walking out, the line to get in was probably almost a quarter of a mile long. We probably left around 12:30. Today is Saturday. If you do visit the Windmill Island tulips, I would recommend getting there early so you can get in a lot easier, get your pictures when it's not as busy, then explore the rest of the Tulip Festival. Our next stop is Beechwood Church, which has the Tulip Immersion Garden. We're really excited to see this. This whole immersion experience takes you through the history of the tulip all the way to present day. So it turns out tulips don't actually smell really. Some have a very faint fragrance, but most don't smell like anything.
Tulip cultivation began in Persia around the 10th century, likely from hybridized wild plants. A diplomat in Constantinople is credited with introducing tulips to Europe in 1554. Between 1634 and 1637, the enthusiasm for the new flowers in the Netherlands triggered a speculative frenzy now known as tulip mania that eventually led to the collapse of the market 3 years later. Tulip bulbs had become so expensive that they were treated as a form of currency, forcing the Dutch government to introduce trading restrictions on the bulbs. The first cultivation of tulips in the United States occurred in Salem, Massachusetts in 1847, where Richard S. Fay imported tulips and other exotic plants.
We just left the tulip immersion at Beechwood Church, and they had a little Dutch store on the way out, so we stopped to pick some things up, and we got some stroop waffles.
If you never had stroop waffles, they're pretty good.
And some milk chocolate clogs.
All the things in the food section were actually imports from Netherlands, so you know it's good.
Yeah, so we're excited to try this.
So this was our final stop for Tulip Time, 2025.
It was really cool. I wasn't quite sure what to expect when we came up here, and I've been pleasantly surprised.
Yeah. I didn't realize how big it was.
Yeah.
I mean, I know today's Saturday, so I expect more crowds, but that quarter-mile line just leaving the Windmill Garden was insane.
Yeah, and then traffic just trying to go into Holland by the afternoon, it was so backed up.
Yeah.
Our recommendation would be to do the Windmill Island in the morning and then this in the afternoon.
Yes. Or go during the weekday, because I have a feeling it's...
Yes, go during a weekday if you can.
It's a 10-day festival, so yeah, if you can make it during the weekday, there should be less crowds too. That's the end of this adventure.
See you guys on the next one.